Hi, and welcome to another exciting late as in wrong day, edition of The James Show, here with Stacy. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about comics, because I've been skipping it for a while because I'm done. Talking about what happened last time in Dungeons & Dragons. Spoiler, nothing. Gonna play a game called Galaxy of Pen and Paper, and look at a board game called Tiny Epic Quest, all on this epic show with our lovely pretend comic city backdrop that apparently has like comic book fights in the background going on, or maybe lightning gods are having sex and they're bang. Please bang and lightning. That's not what it is. No. Anyhow, here's the show. So let's start by looking at the board. This is the box, very small, and inside is action-packed rules, cards with which to play the game, custom dice to resolve nighttime events. You got little weapons. You got a little weapon rack to hold all your little weapons. You have what they call item meeples. I don't know how to pronounce it. IT meeple? Anyways, they're meeples, which if you know anything about board games, it's pieces shaped like little peoples. But they got holes so that you can hold little items as you get them.
I think they're cute.
Yeah, they're probably your friends. Everybody gets 3 of those. Assorted counters, badges, bangles, and beads to play the game. What else we got? Everybody gets a character sheet corresponding to their color. Red, green, yellow, and blue. There's a little, track for fun and adventure for the part of the game. There's another counter thing that you need to pick track up for the game. There's other cards. Then you build a world based on a bunch of tile cards. There are 4 castle tile cards. You can see it's got a castle for each player. And then there's a bunch of random all kinds of stuff. Like, look, oh no, it's a temple. And here's where you can learn a magic spell. And oh, let's explore a desert. So the way the game works is there's 2 phases, day and night. During the day, each person gets, starting with the first person, which rotates, picks a movement card. There are 5 movement cards, but you'll only use 4 of them in any given daytime. There's by horse, which lets you move left and right as far as you want. The way it works is, say it's Stacy's turn to pick a movement and she picks by horse. So then she can choose to have one of her people move by horse or have nobody move. Then it's my turn and I get to choose to have one of my people move by horse or nobody move. Then the next player, then the next player. Then say now it's my turn and I'm going to choose by foot. By the horse gets flipped over. You can only use each movement type once. And like I said, you'll only use 4 of them. By foot lets you move 1 space in any direction. So I can then have maybe the guy that moved by horse, I now wanted to move by foot because I'm still trying to get him to where I want him to go. I can move one of my other 3 guys by foot or nobody. And then the next person next to me, the next person next to me, and then Stacy. We do that 4 times until 3 or 4. I'm not getting numbers right. It's like Monty Python. Count to 3. 1, 2, 5. 3. 4. There are 5 movement cards. You will use 4 of them. By foot is 1 space in any direction. By ship, you can move along any of the edges of the board, but you already have to be an edge. By raft is up and down because you can see on the board, the tokens, all of them have a river in the middle. So the river connects all the way up. The roads connect left and right. So by raft is up and down. By griffin is diagonally as far as you want. And by horse, left and right, and by foot, one space in any direction. Once you're done, you when you land on a square, you see there's a bunch of different grids. Well, you pick one side. There's left and right. Like this one here has, on the left side, you can learn a spell. So if you leave your guy there, whenever the day is done and it's time to resolve stuff, your guy will learn a spell. Or you can explore the Shadow Temple, which when the day is done, it goes into the night phase, and you have a chance to like explore, fight goblins, learn spells, that sort of stuff. The game is played in 5 phases, 5 day and nights, and when it's done, there is a scorecard that you use to determine who wins. It's based on how many goblin camps you've beaten, how many spells you've learned, how many temples you've explored, how many items you found.
It's almost like experience points.
Yeah, it's kind of like experience points, but at the end. Now, an interesting thing about the points is you will be penalized, for not doing stuff. Say you didn't kill any goblins. According to the handy-dandy score chart here, didn't kill any goblins? Oh, you lose 2 points. Didn't learn any magic spells? Lose 4 points. So there are certain things. Oh, and there's also quests in the game. Like if you have all 3 of your guys been in temples. Well, here, quest done.
So you have to do a little bit of everything. You
have to do at least a little. You can focus to really rack in the points, but you got to do at least a little bit of everything, or else you will end up losing points at the end. The box actually is covered with the handy-dandy indications of what everything is. Like the top of the box is used to roll the dice, so it tells you what each of the dice mean. Because it's the dice grotto. It says so. See, dice grotto. Roll them in here. The other side of the box here shows, like, this side has the points at the end of the game. It's on both sides. So, yeah, a little bit of extra, infos on the box. We haven't really got a chance to play it yet. I hope to be playing it soon. Maybe later today. But overall, it looks like it's a fun little game. Expected to take about 30 minutes or so, I think is what they said. First time through, of course, will always be significantly longer. But I also got, because I kickstarted it, I got an expansion about mushroom people and like saving them and that sort of stuff. And you have to like take the mushroom people back to town. Interesting stuff. So let's check it out. Anyhow, that was Tiny Epic Quest. It's in a tiny little box. It's got tiny little guys, so it's quick on the go type game.
And it's tiny.
And it's tiny. It's wee Tiny Epic Quest. Looks to be fun. So we will report back to you on how interesting it was. Next, let's talk about what happened last time in Dungeons & Dragons. Everybody decided to be on vacation.
Pretty much.
And so me and Stacy decided there was going to be no D&D, and we would eat all delicious pork chops ourselves.
And they were delicious. There's 2 flavors.
And we did. And some Brussels sprouts with bacon and onion. They were good.
I had a lot of lunch portions.
Yeah, that's true. But what are you going to do? Anyhow. That's what happened last time on Dungeons & Dragons. James and Stacy ate pork chops. We had traditional baked flavor and General Tso's flavor. Or General Tso, General So.
You get the Tso because that's what I say.
Yeah. You ruined me, Tso. So, what's been happening in my comics? Well, I don't read many comics anymore. Oh, and by the way, spoilers for Amazing Spider-Man, Saga, and Invincible. If you read any of those, I don't know, plug your ears and go la la la. But I mean, if you read those regularly, you probably have already read what I'm about to say. And if you would just wait for the omnibus editions, then I don't know what to tell you. In Invincible, they are currently leading the big nasty aliens to the Earth to fight. It's all nasty. And at the very last end, here's the big spoiler, that is the main character's dad gets ripped in half by the big bad guy. And it appears that Robot, the guy who's pretty much taken over the Earth kind of under the radar, has grabbed all of the Volrumites, which are the race, the alien race, the Superman alien race that the main character Mark is a part of. Well, they've been living on Earth and they have families and kids. Well, Robot has taken, while they are off fighting the big bad alien invasion, the robot has taken all of their family and kidnapped them and put them in a, whatever. Probably some sort of leverage, because, I don't know, because he's an evil. But he's trying to do what's best for the world, he thinks, but he's kind of doing about it in the wrong way.
Yeah.
So that's it. There are like 5 or 6 more issues left, at most. So we'll have to see what happens with that. So that was Invincible. In Saga, which is kind of an interesting spacefaring type thing by Image, the 2 main characters, Marco and so now Katie wants to say hi. Hi, Katie, Wonder Woman's. In Saga, the 2 main characters, Marco and Lana, have had a kid already. That's where the whole story starts. Well, she's pregnant with a 2nd kid who's now going to be stillborn. They've done their little magic test, and they are. But because of their weird alien race mix, she's not actually, her body isn't rejecting it. And because also they're 2 different races that are kind of warring, she can't just go to some random doctor and say, hi, can you remove this half-breed baby out of my body? Without being basically executed. So they're going to this crazy backwater abortion planet. Like, literally, that's apparently what the planet is known for, is doing abortions.
This is horrible.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird comic. However, she's noticed that Marco, the guy's race, can cast magic, but you have to have some of their blood to be able to do it. So she shouldn't be able to cast magic, but because the baby, stillborn, or whatever is still inside her, she's starting to randomly cast magic spells. And
well, maybe he's not dead.
Goofy hide. No, like he said. Maybe we'll find out, but
like
probably
it.
not.
But if she's casting spells off this stillborn baby, maybe the baby's really not going to be stillborn. Maybe it's going to be alive.
You can help. Maybe there'll be some sort of miracle. But this isn't the kind of comic for happy miracles, quite honestly. So we'll see. But yeah, so she's got all kinds of goofy spells going on because she of that. What else we got? That's about it. Oh, Invincible Spider-Man, the Peter Parker one. Dr. Octopus is back again in what I believe is a cloned Peter Parker body. He hasn't taken his mask and suit off, and I don't remember if they really said it, but he's in a cloned Peter Parker body, and currently he's trying to take over Peter Parker Industries. The backdrop to this right now, though, is the whole Hydra crap, where Captain America is leading Hydra, and they've pretty much taken over the United States. He's currently beating the crap out of the Avengers and Ultimates, whatever you want to call it, being that he's 1, Captain America, and 2, apparently has Thor's hammer. I haven't been reading that part of the storyline, so I've only got little bits of it, Spider-Man trying to fight Captain America with the Thor's hammer and Hydra. It's not going well. They retreated. And so now he's busy dealing with the fact that Dr. Octopus is punching him and beating him up.
Dressed as him.
Not dressed as him. Clone body. He's dressed as like a Dr. Octopus, Spider-Man weird crossbreed. So that's comics. You gonna play a game?
Sounds good. What are we playing today?
I already told you. Galaxy of Pen and Paper.
I was being your co-host.
Oh.
I did a good job. You ruined it.
Gonna be playing Galaxy of Pen and Paper. Now, these started off, I found these as the mobile game. They are on Steam and that sort of stuff. They're a bit more expensive on Steam. On mobile, they are $5 each, and have been 3 of them now. The first one was called Knights of Pen and Paper, and it was a fantasy role-playing game with a weird little twist is that you're kind of like playing the Dungeon Master and the players at the same time. You set up the encounters as the Dungeon Master, but you don't really control the story. There's a story to the game.
It's kind of weird.
It's interesting. Then there was Knights of Pen and Paper 2. It's like Knights of Pen and Paper, just more different stuff. Now there's Galaxy of Pen and Paper, where it's the same concept, but it's in space.
How's it go?
Space! In space. So there's that. So let's check it out. My sunglasses today are these goggles. Will they go over my eyes with my glasses on? No. Can I take my glasses off and see to play the game? No. So...
Are you sure? We should try it.
What? Put the glasses on over?
No. Play the game without your glasses. Let's make it work. I like it.
You would. Whoa! Rock and roll action! Let's click to start. And I've already gotten guys, and I made my wife Stacy the DM, and me and my son are the players.
It's like 80s music.
It's 80s space action music.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And it's loading. Oh, there we go, reticulating splines. I love the D20 action. There's lots of role-playing references and nerd movie references. It's pretty epically awesome. Okay, so we started off on this planet back there. It looks like that's a Gundam or a robot or a Voltron hybrid of some sort. Here you got the Mars rover. There's that. And so we started on this desert planet because all good space epics apparently have to start at a desert planet. At least if you have Star Wars. So, see, there's Stacy, our DM. Currently, if you'd see, she's actually dressed as Darth Vader and in the Emperor's chair.
Mm-hmm.
I am a human. My player type is Slayer, so that's an advantage there. And I am a, I believe, bounty hunter? And the David character is a commando, and he is the buddy player type. And he is the race of his player character is a simian monkey guy. So normally later on you'll get a bunch of different mission types. The campaign quest, of course, advances the story, so we're going to do that for now. And here's the story. See, this guy says help. What are we going to do? We're going to say, why aren't you wearing pants? And he asked me who am I to judge. And my response is somebody who's wearing pants. This is kind of the Watto character for the game. He apparently we owe him a bunch of money, so we have to do whatever he says because Star Wars. And he decided he will help us. I'm going to go through all the story. Blah, blah, blah. There's some jokes and silliness. So, then here, you can create a battle where we're at. See, you can just decide if you want to grind, you can battle, and you can create the battle. And it, you know, whatever. We're going to go ahead and do the mission now. So this is the planet we're on, and here's little nodes we can go to, and here's where our mission is. So we click E, and we go, yay!
We're at the Crazy Camel.
That's right, and here means this is the next part of our mission. We click it. The dusty hot town of Crazy Camel is famous for its cantinas filled with all kinds of weirdos.
It actually looks like Tatooine.
I know, it's on purpose. Some sand raiders approach us and say, hey, pay a toll. Orders a Lord Ginormous. And this guy says, I live here. And obviously he doesn't have many pockets in his towel.
No. Maybe he just...
Oh no, the guy confiscated his towel as payment. This very much feels like those dreams we are naked in cyber school. But it's in real life and embarrassing. Mr. Naked Kent dashes off, and we call him mean and nasty. And are we going to pay? We're going to pay in punches.
Yeah.
So there you go. So now the mission is defeat 5 sand raiders. Now you can choose to do it one at a time, which will take a little while. But if you defeat more at once, you see, you get bonuses. Extra loot, extra experience points, but the difficulty, of course, goes up. I'm going to go ahead, and we're going to try 3.
Don't die.
And then he goes into turn-based combat. Here's the turn system at the top, and as you can see, the health bars, they have an overshield. Your characters have a shield, and then they have actual health. Shield regenerates a little bit each turn. I'm going to do multi-shot, and we're going to do it to these guys. So I'm going to go pew-pew-pew and hit all of you guys. Yeah. And then they get a turn.
And their shields weaken, for sure.
Their shields are almost all done, yeah. He does not have, like, a shoot-everybody shot, so I'm just going to do a regular charge shot on him. Boing. And he's down. Yes. My turn. Doing a multi-shot. Ooh. Oh. 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 Hey. So like that. Get him. Get him. Yeah. He's only got one eye because they're not getting sued. Jawas have 2. And then yellow. Yay, we win! So we get some gold, we get some experience points, and we got a rat burger.
Yum.
Delicious. So, we still have not finished the quest because we have to do another build battle, and see, it tells you 2 enemies left. I mean, I could throw some other weird enemy in.
Do that one.
You want me to fight one of those?
Yeah.
But they won't help me finish my quest.
So? Better?
No, I'm gonna die.
Nah.
He doesn't have shields, you see, some sort of monster. Oh, I am out of, like, juice.
You're out of your multi-shot?
Yeah. Item use does not count as your turn. Good to know. See, you know, a lot of hit points, too.
You'll be fine.
Shoot this weird tar monster thing. Jawa 1 turn. Didn't get through my shields. Oh, he's almost hurt. Almost down, too. Oh, look! David is dead. You killed David. And I don't have any way to bring him back.
Well, don't die now. See, look, 1 down.
I'm outnumbered. And he just hit a critical hit.
Oh. Well, you just suck.
We find ourselves in the med bay. Most surprisingly, we're alive. We lost XP and stuff. There you go. So, eventually you get money. This is like the very, very early in the game. So let's see if we can go to town and we can buy anything. So you don't have to do anything you don't want to do in the game, I mean, pretty much. It doesn't look like there's a store here. We can change our team is. If they're in the back row, they have less threat, like the enemies will be less likely to attack them, but they also do less damage and can't necessarily hit the back row of the enemies if the enemies have a back row.
So you can have a really large team.
Yeah, I think you can have up to 4 or 5 guys eventually. You can talk to see if anybody's here. Hey, this guy. Why don't we try it too? I told this man bun guy to go be an adventurer, and he runs off. Well, good luck to him. So, we can go to the city.
You just got that guy killed.
Probably. Here's a store. So maybe we could. We don't have enough money to buy.
You can buy more rat burgers.
And gadgets are equipment that you can equip on your character. See right here. Boop. Gadgets. Eventually, you also get a spaceship, and you can do space battles. It's also a turn-based space kind of battle system with some randomness to it. As you level up, you can get up to 4 skills in your little slots, and you got to pick and choose what skills you want. And there's a lot of. Hey, look at that! That's Phoenix Wright right there. Totally. It's a different game. There are a lot of like synergy skills, like here. You do extra damage if your target has stun status, so you can give yourself a skill that makes them stun, and then you do extra damage next turn. These are different things during the game. It'll have like different boxes that'll come up and say, "Hey, do you want to do this or this?" And if you decide to do, say, something based on power, when it rolls a die 20, it'll add 7 to the total, and see if you can beat the target number. Kind of like real, tabletop Dungeons and Dragons or other type games. So that's kind of neat. There's that. Occasionally, the screen will like fade out and it'll go back to the real world or whatever, and like your character's mom will come in and yell at you, "What kind of pizza do you want?" or just random little silliness. They're trying to make it kind of still feel like a role-playing game you're playing.
Oh, that sounds fun.
And eventually, you get little knickknacks that you can put on their desk to give you different bonuses. Depending on, you can get 2 as far as I've seen, and each of them do different things. So, if you like kind of turn-based comedy, tongue-in-cheek. Role-playing games, I would definitely say to give this one a try. Either this one, or if you would prefer to go back to a more fantasy-type setting, there's Pen and Paper and Pen and Paper 2. GOG has them, and Pen and Paper 2 are probably pretty cheap right now, and if not, you can play them on the iPad. The iPad, they are $5. The new one is $5, so the other ones are probably cheaper, if not free. I think the very first one is free on the iPad now. Or the iPhone, or the Android. It's pretty much on everything. The Android.
The Android?
The Android, not Android devices. The Android.
Just the Android.
You're going to go play the game on the Nintendo over there. Mom, it's... Anyways, Galaxy of Pen and Paper. I like it. I like the other ones. I like this one. Check them out. I believe that's about it, unless you have a good topic for a story today, or a song.
Dangers in the night.
Story or song?
I guess the story.
It's always a story. Dangers in the Night, the story. It's pretty,
Things that go bump in the
yeah,
night.
and we're going with Dangers in the Night. With trains. Dangers in the Night with trains. Because somebody just suggested with trains. So the Dangers in the Night with trains. I don't see how that's going to be remotely humorous. It's just going to end up with some kid getting maimed on the train tracks.
Why?
Because think about it. Dangers in the Night with trains. What other options are there?
You can make the trains play chicken.
You're a chicken.
Book, book, book.
So, Billy was an exciting and adventurous boy who lived on the island of Sodor with Thomas the Tank Engine and his friends. Now, Billy had noticed the trains always go back to their sheds at night. They don't run at night, and he couldn't figure out why. So one night, while everything was quiet, he snuck into one of the train sheds. But there weren't any trains there. He was very curious about that because that's where the trains went. And he figured they'd be parked there getting repairs or sleeping, socializing, or whatever it is trains do at night in a shed. Billy looked around for a little bit and he heard a strange scraping noise from a corner of the room. So, being the brave, adventurous, and intrepid young explorer that he was, he went to investigate. And he found a small grate that appeared to lead down into a deep underground area that it sounded like he could swear the trains were down there talking. So he decided he needed to find out more about this. But he wasn't sure how to get down there, so he went home, slept the rest of the day, spent the next day as normal, and then just before it got dark, he snuck back to the train shed and with great stealth and guile hid himself behind some crates and tarps. As the trains returned that evening, he heard them talking and laughing, and he watched very carefully as one of the train conductors, who he'd never seen before, wearing a strange green suit, which is very strange for conductors who normally are wearing their brownish or their blackish, bluish suits. Came out of a side door and pulled a lever, and the whole surface where the trains were parked began to lower. Now, again, Billy, being the adventurous and brave boy he was, quickly jumped down and hid himself among the bits of track and rubble that were going down with the lever and followed the trains. Once the trains had reached a bottom, they rolled off and the platform rose again.
So it looked like they disappeared.
Now, the trains were sitting around for a second, and then he heard a weird and squishy noise. The face of each of the trains began to ooze out of the train itself. Turns out that they weren't trains at all. They were some sort of weird slug monster inside a train body. Now, Billy was quite disgusted at these train monsters, but still intrigued, and followed them down their slimy path until he reached a large gathering where it appeared all the train slug monsters were currently engaged in some sort of party. He wasn't quite sure, so he crept in closer, and as he did, he knocked over something and was very scared because he was worried he was going to get spotted. And he was.
He rolled a 2 on his stealth.
Yeah, didn't roll good on his stealth. Poor Billy. All the slug monsters turned and faced him, and in a great roar began to chase him. Now, Billy, being a boy adventurer, was very fast on his feet and ran, with the slug monsters in pursuit. He wasn't sure where he was going anymore, running through dark caves, taking a left, taking a right, and then he ended up on the shore of the beach. He turned around and faced the slug monsters, and as they sort of surged toward him, they got splashed by a bit of salty seawater, and it turns out they really were slugs because it burned him severely. And the slugs kind of retreated. So Billy knew what he had to do. He went into town, and using his phone video, which obviously he recorded that I hadn't mentioned before, but revealed to the people that the trains weren't trains, but evil slug monsters. He might have accidentally mentioned that they were eating babies. Now, he didn't see any of that, and he didn't record a video of it, but nobody likes slug monsters. So he told the villagers that they were eating babies. And armed with salt, the villagers descended en masse on the poor trains, who were really just having a party and getting their booze on. After they spent all day serving the people, by the way. And they salted every single giant train slug.
The end.
And thus, the island of Sodor was stripped of its living, exciting trains and had nothing but regular trains from here on out. Sir Topham Hatt was probably killed too, because you know he was colluding.
Oh, yeah.
The end.
Don't tell David Thomas is dead.
Or a slug monster. So, there you go. I didn't wear a hat.
Shame on you.
I know. I have bad hair today, so we'll count it. And I wore the goggles earlier like a hat.
Goggles are going to hold double duty.
Except I wasn't wearing them at the time. You said duty, by the way. So, what did we do today? Just as a quick recap, because you were probably watching, or maybe you're watching right now, just to get the recap in, because who cares. We talked about some comics. Talked about how in Dungeons & Dragons we didn't play, we ate pork chops. No loot crate. Talked about the exciting, fun board game, Tiny Epic Quest. Played a fun little game called Galaxy of Pen and Paper. It's where? In space! And told the story about the strange and exciting execution of Thomas the Tank Engine and friends.
Where does the game take place?
In your ass. There's a lot of space there, isn't there? It's probably your forehead, that head area. You can't run it into dead horse. It's mincemeat now. Quit beating it.
In space!
Get into the hands, just go. Anyhow, that's all we got for this semi-exciting, mostly horrible episode of The James Show. Live with Stacy. Check me out, The James Show 00. I'm on all kinds of stupid stuff, except for MySpace. Except Stacy swears she made a MySpace profile of me. It's probably got a butt for a picture. Because you're a butt. Yeah, YouTube. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Twitch. Facebook. What else is there?
Instagram?
Oh yeah, I am on Instagram.
Twitter?
I'm on Twitter. Technically I'm on Smashcast and Mixer too. Weird other broadcasting programs, whatever. Anyhow, and I have a website. TheJamesShow.com. Check me out. Most Wednesdays and Fridays, and some Mondays I try to write articles about games. Wednesdays is called Weirds Days, and I write about really weird freaking games. This last time was a game called Zombie Nation, which is a game about the fact that you fight zombies as a head. Just a head. Like a severed giant samurai head that shoots eye lasers and vomits. That's pretty weird, isn't it?
But it's not in space.
The monster, the final monster, is from space. And Friday, we normally do a Friday flashback where I talk about a game on, you know, old-timey systems like the Nintendo and the Sega Genesis and old arcade games. So you can always check it out there. Until next time, James, as I said, Stacy, check us out on all our associated media outlets, mostly me. You can try to find Stacy too, good luck. But we'll see you next time. Hopefully.
In space!
It's there!